So the theory behind it is that you put some wood glue on it. So I grabbed some wood glue. So I have this Gorilla wood glue, and I have a hammer or a mallet, like one of those softer ones, to hammer it in, and then you have to sew it when the wood glue obviously is dry, but I don't know how long it takes to dry, which is probably not today. It's probably going to be a task for tomorrow. Hopefully cure achieved in 24 hours. Cool. So I did both sides, and now we're gonna just liver it in. Okay. I think that sort of works. Maybe not over here on this side, but on that side it certainly does work. And then we need to wipe away the excess glue. That went surprisingly well. Only on this side we needed a thicker one. Oh well. Let's wipe off the excess. Cool, I'm gonna call it a day for now. I just did this one, and then we got distracted with our COVID packaging. And I know it's just a bit dark in here, but we got a bunch of samples delivered for coving. And first of all, I struggled a lot picking coving, and then I decided I did want to have something more than just like a plain one. And then it was like the size and what do you want and what pattern. And I actually had quite a hard time deciding on what I actually liked. So I ended up just ordering a bunch of samples. I held them up to the ceiling, and we're actually going for a smaller one because the bigger ones in the end are actually quite big. And even though the ceilings are 2.70 meters tall, it's still quite narrow and it takes up a lot of space. So in the end, I'm just gonna do a smaller one. Also, Klaus picked up a sanding machine so we can go and sand again. Finally finish the rest of this floor so we can stain it, so we can build a wardrobe, so we can do all the stuff, for which I'm incredibly excited. And also we have to pick skirting because that will depend on the height of the wardrobe, because I will build it in. The wardrobe is sitting behind that window over there, and Klaus is doing some stuff still. I still carry my paintbrush because I want to rinse that out, and we'll do that at home. And now we're encounter Klaus on the staircase with the manly hammer. I'm gonna wrap it off and take it with me. And then there is a little parcel there that I'm gonna take. Klaus just ripped out a little paneling on the side because they're gonna put in flooring, not this week, but still want to be ready for it. So that's good. So let's wrap this up and let's grab some dinner and unpack my handle samples for the kitchen and these ones, for example, and different other places in the house. Welcome to another Saturday of me doing some DIYing, and it's actually Saturday of coronation here in the UK. I am back at where I hammered in bits and pieces of the floorboards, and now I started the tedious task of cutting them smaller. So I have to do this prior to us being able to, as you can see, like it'll become like a similar level with the floorboards, and then you send it down to it for it to become more flush, if that makes sense. I do know that I have to fill that gap as well, but it's easier for me to just, you know, hammer it in and not be stuck all the way at the end and then not be able to like fit my saw in, if that makes sense. So I figured just to do it by bits and pieces. So now I'm just doing this one, and I have to cut some to size because obviously some gaps are not exactly a meter long, if that makes sense. So now I'm just gonna do the tedious task of sawing. Also, on a very good note, Klaus did some sanding yesterday, and he picked up the professional sander that we had before, but we had too much paint when we had it actually, so it wouldn't really work that well. But now, as we had most of the white paint off and there was still a bit of varnish left, he managed to do this. Look at that, it's nearly ready to be stained. Obviously you can see behind me that there's still black and some white we need to get rid of, but it was a bit of like a persistent stain, if that makes sense. And this is the sander that we hired. Yeah, we think there has been like a fire at some point, like probably a candle that fell over. Obviously there's like still some like white paint that I'm gonna try and get out, which is actually quite a tough job. And there's like the little white spots like these that we need to take out, and I need to take out the dirt as much as from the white that's in between the planks so that we can fill that with a different color. I'm gonna make it quite dark in fairness. And then we have these ones that are black. We don't know why. They also slightly look like a different type of wood, if that makes sense, if you compare the two. But I don't know why it's black, so we need to sand that off as well, because otherwise the stain. And then there is still some remnants of some of the layers of the white paint that we're trying to scratch off. So it's a process. It's a process, but getting there. We're getting there. So I have filled up the floor with some of the floorboard slivers, and now I'm trying to sew them away again so to make flat, to make it easier to sand. So that's what we're doing now. So this is the progress of today, and as you can see, I didn't like go all the way because some of the floorboards have like wider gaps and smaller gaps. and gaps like this. I could potentially fill them up with the slivers. I might actually do this one because this is one that I was in doubt about. But like things like this are far easier to fill with a bit of sanddust and some glue and varnish, and just kind of like push it in there, if that makes sense. I just don't want to, you know, when you drop something like a necklace or whatever, that it just like slips through. Hey, welcome back to a new day and more DIYing. Currently we're still in this upstairs room dealing with the, as you can see, like the little piece of wood, they're called pine slivers that we jammed in the wall, floor. And Klaus is now sawing them out, and I'm gonna add another one, and I'm gonna mark that with a sticker that obviously needs to dry. So we had a bit of a slight downfall today. The big sander that we had downstairs, it broke. It just stopped working, so we're not quite happy with that because obviously I finished the flooring in here now. As you can see, I put in a couple more of the little dowels. I should probably close this now, I'm looking at it. Unfortunately, we cannot sand this floor down today, which is really a shame because we put so much hard effort in it to be done. As you can see, these are like the kitten dowels, so they fill up all the gaps. It looks so pretty in real life, obviously maybe not on camera, but it looks actually quite good.